Please be seated. Welcome to St. Mary's. We would like to begin by acknowledging that St. Mary's University is located in Mi'kma'ki, the unceded land of the Mi'kmaq Nation. The Mi'kmaq people are the original inhabitants of the lands and waters on which we gather today. We recognize that our borders are a colonial construct. I'm an immigrant from one of those colonial powers, and I am humbled and honored to invoke the names of the original protectors and keepers of the Atlantic region. The Mi'kmaq people, along with the Wolastoqiyik, the Passamaquoddy, the Penobscot, Abenaki, comprise the Wabanaki Confederacy, known in English as People of the Dawn. We must uphold the terms of the Peace and Friendship Treaty, which outlines how to live in harmony with each other, thus forging a relationship built upon mutual respect and honor. Whether your ancestors have occupied this land since the mists of time, or like my family, our first generation, we are all treaty people. The Marshal of Convocation has placed the mace on the stage. That is the official and traditional signal that convocation has begun. Today is about combining traditions into a wonderful and joyous occasion. Some of these traditions, like wearing academic robes, are hundreds of years old, and others are up to the minute as we employ tweets and other social media to celebrate the occasion. Graduates, as you entered today, you were led by the St. Mary's Alumni Honor Guard in maroon robes. By escorting you to your places, they are reminding you that you are not saying goodbye to St. Mary's. You are making a transition. So wherever you are in the world, you will be embraced by the 54,000 plus alumni who make up the global and connected St. Mary's family. I am Medina Vanderplaat, Interim Vice President, Academic and Research. Graduates, both those of you who are with us today and those joining online, we are here to celebrate you, the class of winter 2023. We are so very proud of you and your accomplishments. This is your day. Parents, friends, and supporters, feel free to cheer and applaud as our graduates cross the stage. However, for the safety of all in attendance, we ask that you keep your mask on and remain in your seats for the entire ceremony. Finally, we request that you turn your phones and devices to silent mode. At every convocation, we are joined by members of the university community as we celebrate the success of our graduates. So now let me introduce the platform party. Here on stage with me are the president, chancellor, deans, vice presidents, associate vice presidents, Father Cameron, faculty, student leaders, alumni, members of Senate, and senior university leaders. I now invite Father Cameron from the St. Mary's Chaplaincy to deliver the invocation. Father Cameron.
Friends, let us all now take a moment and quiet our hearts and our minds, recollecting ourselves as our gathering begins. God of peace and goodness, with thankful hearts we gather here today to acknowledge the gifts of wisdom and perseverance that have been given to our graduates. We give thanks for all the family, the friends, faculty, and staff who have supported and journeyed with them to this important day. We ask you to bestow now every good gift and blessing upon them as they begin the next phase in their journey of life. Let the future that they embrace be filled with many opportunities to appreciate the beauty and goodness of our world, as well as human society. And may the good works of their lives make a sincere contribution to the common good of all people. And give to each one of us, O God, a grateful heart, for we are blessed and have plenty. Amen.
The university bestows Astrophysics for outstanding teaching and research. Awards for outstanding teaching are presented at the spring and fall convocations. The recipient of the President's Award for Excellence in Research for 2022 is Dr. Annika van Proste from the Department of Geography and Environmental Studies. You will find a detailed write-up on Dr. van Proste and her many accomplishments in your program. I now invite our president to present the award. It is now my pleasure to ask our President and Vice Chancellor, Dr. Robert Summermead Murray, to address convocation.
Thank you, Dr. Van der Plaat. Bienvenue tout le monde, Kwei, Pijalazi, welcome. And merci pour votre participation cet après-midi. Mr. Chancellor, distinguished guests, families, friends, and of course this afternoon's graduates, congratulations. Today we celebrate your success and we acknowledge what you have overcome to be here at graduation. Many of you have come from around the world to join with friends and colleagues from just around the corner, building the St. Mary's scholarly community and network that will stay with you for the rest of your lives and careers. Some of you are the first generation in your family to attend university. Many of you finished a day of studying and then went out to work part-time or full-time to finance your studies. Many cared for children or parents while attending school and faced the stress, for some, the tragedy of a global pandemic. Only you know the trials and triumphs your personal journey has brought to this day, to graduation. Your accomplishment, of course, is unique. Celebrate it. No one can take it from you. I want to suggest to you today, however, that you are also part of a movement, part of a wider revolution. In today's world, education remains a revolutionary act. Now, it's tempting to dismiss education, and particularly university education, as somehow elitist or disconnected from the world, perhaps even naive. After all, injustice and violence are all around us, and we struggle to find or see logic or understanding. We face a climate emergency, an unjust war in Ukraine, violent oppression of women's rights in many countries, a rise in extremism, divisiveness in civil society, the emergence of bully dictators on the global stage, and incomprehensible police brutality, most recently in Memphis in the United States. But I argue today that education is the more powerful force on earth. It is the quiet revolution that the world needs now more than ever. Education revolutionizes the individual, and you are the proof. You may not think of your studies this way, but in addition to classes, recitations, and laboratories, completed assignments, and participating in seminars, you have acquired critical thinking, the ability to challenge accepted norms. You know how to question dogma and demonstrate leadership. By participating in activities inside and outside the classroom, from the coffee shop to the library to the sports field, you have learned how to fail and to grow and to succeed, to work in teams and to act locally to solve global problems. That revolution is personal. You have entered St. Mary's as one person. You leave today as a citizen of a much wider world. Education is also the revolution behind innovation in business, culture, and industry more broadly. As graduates today, you know that working alongside your professors, you have sought solutions. In your labs, fieldwork, co-op, internships, you have developed green alternatives to toxic chemicals. You have rehabilitated marshland to fight climate change. You've brought sustainable development goals to the boardroom. And you've helped all of us revisit our understanding of the tragedies of such things as residential schools in this country, or the erasure of memory in Nova Scotia of the No. 2 Construction Battalion in World War I. And there are many more examples of your work. Education, of course, also revolutionizes societies and countries for the better. If you want to test this theory, just consider that countries striving to maintain a medieval status quo are currently preventing women from entering universities. It is true that compared to 50 years ago, literacy rates are up. More people go to school, and university populations are set to double globally in the next decade. But a recent UNESCO report estimates that worldwide, 244 million children and youth are out of school. Today, 60% of children globally are unable to read and understand a simple text by age 10. And for millions of girls and women around the world, the classroom remains an elusive, often forbidden space. The COVID-19 pandemic, which triggered the greatest disruption of education in our history, has deepened a pre-existing crisis. Education is not a universal right as it should be. Access to education is unequal. Indeed, it is one of the primary limits to our world. There is still much to do. Here in Canada, we still face barriers drawn from long-held views and practices. Educational institutions must examine our role in holding up a system that is exclusionary. Canadian universities have not yet proven to be fully open pathways to higher education for all, and there remain systemic barriers for many. Again, these are the limits we must work to overcome together with your leadership. While St. Mary's University has signed the Scarborough Charter on black flooding and made commitments to combating anti-black racism, and while we have introduced supports for Mi'kmaq Indigenous students and students of African, Nova Scotian and Black descent, there is still a long road ahead as we engage real and comprehensive change in our local society. So does the education journey, or as I've proposed this afternoon, the education revolution, end here with graduation? Far from it. In your future workplaces, communities, and families, you will be an educator and therefore also a revolutionary. You will lead by example, you will organize, you will spread knowledge, open doors for opportunity, and change the communities in which we live. These communities and the world around us all need people with critical thinking skills and leadership, business and scientific knowledge, and awareness and articulation of humanity and human values. The things you bring as St. Mary's University graduates. Allow me to close by quoting Abby Hoffman, American radical of the 1960s and 70s, someone whose countercultural and frequently illegal activities found him offside with most elements of American society, but who nonetheless brings wisdom in these words, which I share with you. Revolution is not something fixed in ideology, nor is it something fashioned to a particular decade. It is a perpetual process embedded in the human spirit. Leave here today with a sense of hope and optimism, the wind of change at your back. As St. Mary's graduates, you are well equipped to be the revolutionaries the world needs as we together build a world without limits. Félicitations, Mubarak, congratulations, Walalian, and of course, Age quod Agis.
Thank you, Dr. Sumridmer. We now proceed with the conferral of degrees for the Faculty of Arts. I ask Dr. Mary Ingram, Dean of the Faculty of Arts, to introduce candidates for undergraduate degrees in the Faculty of Arts. Dr. Alexander Abdullah, the Department of Languages and Culture, will then serve as our orator, announcing each student. Dean Ingram.
Mr. Chancellor, I present candidates for undergraduate degrees and certificates in the Faculty of Arts. I attest that they have fulfilled all of their program requirements and ask that you confer their degrees and certificates.
By the authority bestowed upon me under the St. Mary's University Act, I hereby confer undergraduate degrees and certificates in the Faculty of Arts.
Mr. Chancellor, to retain an important tradition of the university, we undertake at convocation a ceremony in which the first candidate is hooded as a representative of the graduating class. An explanation of hoods and regalia can be found in the convocation program. I ask the first graduate for the Bachelor of Arts degree to move to center stage. Karim Walid Al-Bagouri. I am now pleased to call upon Bafana Washinagazi Alumni Association Vice President to present an alumni pin to this graduate.
Chelsea Laura Berry. Caitlin Elizabeth Bonnelly. Patricia May Borja. Grace Kenyel. Ahmed Tarim Saif Chaudhry. Marina Damota Alves Burgos. Logan Cameron DeVoe. Kenneth Finley. Alyssa Madeline Frost. Justin Ricky Glosson. Madeline Barbara Goldsmith. Ashley Marie Guthrow. Asha Graham. Kritika Gurung. Angel Hannah, cum laude. Marcus John Losher. Shannon Michelle Jeffrey. Megan Jean Josie. Reed Knockwood. Haley Langell. Joseph Larson. Ellen Marie Legg. Li Jian Chen. Lin Chu Shi, magna cum laude. Christopher John Thomas Liu. Christina Nicole London Cummings, magna cum laude. Olivia Daphne McKinnon. Shay and Priscilla McNeil. Grace Catherine Middleton. April Aldea Mills with certificate in forensic science. Ahmad Hassan Mansour, honors sociology, cum laude, cooperative education. Jacqueline Rochelle Murphy, cum laude. Bailey Elizabeth O'Donnell. William Orozco. Ifeni Augustine Otigi. Jalik Jeanette Malvern Pinder. Taylor Rober. Aidan Aloysius Robert Murray. Christopher Bailey Rutledge. Kathleen Marie Smith. Andrew Robert Stewart. Latoya Stewart. Ian Stanley Wheeler. Yang Ling Lang, summa cum laude. This concludes the graduates for the Bachelor of Arts degree. This also concludes degrees in the Faculty of Arts.
Dr. Roby Austin, Associate Dean of Science will introduce candidates for undergraduate degrees, diplomas, and certificates in the Faculty of Science.
Mr. Chancellor, I present candidates for undergraduate degrees, diplomas, and certificates in the Faculty of Science. I attest that they have fulfilled all of their program requirements and ask that you confer their degrees, diplomas, and certificates.
By the authority bestowed upon me under the St. Mary's University Act, I hereby confer undergraduate degrees, diplomas, and certificates in the Faculty of Science.
Diana Badur. Matthew John Greg Campbell. Justin Cormier. Emily Jane Doyle, summa cum laude, with certificate in forensic science. Nairouz Kassem Ghatrif. Vitor Bentley Geronimo, cum laude. Marcus Franco Liberatore. Tatiana Rose McCormick, summa cum laude. Mijica. Jasma Denise Mannings. Matthew Marek Nozderka, summa cum laude. J. Devendra Kumar Patel. Carolyn Shaoli Power. Ashley Rose. Anastasia Zagel, honors psychology, magna cum laude. Mondira Saha. Tahira Tabassum. Sharon Thomas. Wan Shui, cum laude. Cameron Brett Zinn. This concludes the graduates for the Bachelor of Science degree. We will now proceed with the graduates of the Bachelor of Science and Diploma in Engineering. Mackenzie Christina Riley Hallett, summa cum laude. Colin McGregor. This concludes the graduates of the Bachelor of Science and Diploma in Engineering. We will now proceed with the graduates of the Diploma in Engineering. Sanjog Godar. Arshdeep Singh Panu. This concludes the graduates in the Faculty of Science.
The valedictorian is selected in competition by committee to represent the graduating class. I would like to take this time to congratulate all graduates who competed for this prestigious honor. I'm pleased to invite Anastasia Segal, class valedictorian, to come forward and address the graduates. A brief biography of Anastasia is included in your convocation program. Anastasia, as valedictorian, is the recipient of a John and Fitzpatrick Valedictorian Award.
Good afternoon, bon après-midi, guten Tag, fellow graduates, family, friends, faculty, and university staff. Today is the day we say goodbye to the home for the past few years, St. Mary's University. I'm sure many of you feel the same when I say that St. Mary's has given me a home with the opportunity to grow, learn, and find lifelong friends. A home where I was able to strive into my best self through the environment St. Mary's provided to me. For me, one of these opportunities was being the captain of our cheerleading team, where I not only found a sport that I loved, but friends that cared about me and put me further. Another being the support I felt from the whole St. Mary's community when I was presenting my thesis for the very first time, 36th Annual Psychology Conference. Being recognized for my academic success and being on the Dean's List several times gave me the motivation I sometimes needed to keep going. Comparing my first year to my last, my grades improved massively. This is when I realized the importance of personal growth and that studying really does help. Looking back at myself in first year revealed a level of maturity that I hope I can continue to work on. Becoming the best version of myself was not without struggle, something all of us can relate. Being an international student from Germany, one of my first struggles was the language barrier, which became less of a struggle with the support of my newfound friends and faculty members that never made me feel inferior. As graduates, we are no strangers to writing long papers, presenting projects, or reading 10 chapters for an assignment. For some of us, in another language, which was not always easy. But seeing other students sitting in the atrium at 10 at night gives you a feeling of belonging, unity, and motivation. Being without family or support system, when you're trying to discipline yourself, to study for that final, arrive to class on time, or to finish that project can be hard. Luckily, St. Mary's provided us with lots of support. Not only the free study snacks, but their services like the Snap Center and the Writing Center, whose only goal was for us to succeed. We all know the pressure you feel when you ended up spending more time on Argyle Street than anticipated, because on top of being students, we also wanted to have a social life. One thing I struggled with was time management. Getting to practice or competition on time, finishing my thesis, working, and studying for other classes almost made me want to give up. But picturing me here at today's graduation triumphed over feelings of doubt, especially over the month leading up to this day. As co-founder of Google, Larry Page once said, "It is often easier to make progress on mega ambitious dreams." I know that sounds completely nuts, but since no one else is crazy enough to do it, have little competition. Our time at St. Mary's was filled with enjoyable moments, from coming together to support our Huskies at various sporting events, to winning competitions, joining societies with friends, or attending movie nights on the field. These are moments that will link us together forever. Most of us would not be here without the guidance of our family and friends, whose validation was endless. I'm sure many of you have your own narrative, but seeing you all here today shows me you overcame your own struggles. And for that, we should all feel proud. This feeling of pride is one that I want us to hold on to for as long as possible. Because no matter what you're doing after today, the hard times you may face should always be overpowered by this feeling. Even though we are graduating today and leaving the walls of St. Mary's, the friends and guidance we have experienced along the way will follow us wherever we go. Once a Husky, always a Husky.
Thank you, Anastasia. On behalf of members of the entire St. Mary's University community, I want to congratulate everyone who graduated today, including those who graduated in absentia. Graduating class, please remain seated while I invite the audience to rise and offer the entire graduating class a round of applause. For our graduates today, those who graduated cum laude with distinction, magna cum laude with great distinction, and summa cum laude with greatest distinction, please stand and be recognized. Before closing, allow me to thank all those who created the supportive environment that enabled the graduates to succeed at St. Mary's. Parents, spouses, partners, and other family members, mentors, faculty, staff, and everyone else who made a difference, even if they didn't realize it or didn't realize how much it meant. And so in keeping with St. Mary's tradition, I ask the graduates to now rise, turn, and applaud their supporters in the audience, and invite our graduates watching via the live stream to do the same. I wish to thank Dr. Alexander Abdulov, University Orator, for his participation at today's convocation. I would also like to thank our pianist, Joseph Dowell, and soloist, Emmanuel Solomon, who will shortly lead us in the Singing Canada. Last, but by no means least, we wish to thank our Chancellor, board members, our President, faculty members, staff, and members of the Alumni Association for joining us today and receiving our new graduates into the worldwide family of proud St. Mary's graduates. Mr. Chancellor, I now request that you close convocation.
Well, you've done it. Congratulations, everybody. Our president talked today about all the challenges we face in our world today. Talked about the importance of education. Described it as a revolutionary force to deal with those challenges. Our valedictorian today talked about this being your home and the sense of support that you get when you're part of a family. Today we celebrated tradition. One of our traditions was having you acknowledge the support that you've received during your time at St. Mary's. As my role today is to close this convocation, I want to part you with one last thought. This is your home. We are part of your family. Today you are leaving home, but your home will always be here for you. Your family will always be here for you. When you're a little tired and worn out and you need a place to put your feet up, come and see us. When you're out there doing great things, come and tell us about it. But remember, you have a family here. This will always be your home. Congratulations, and come back home often. Now, by the authority bestowed upon me under the St. Mary's University Act, it is my duty to declare your convocation closed.
Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. The ceremony of convocation is concluded. After the singing of O Canada, you are requested to remain standing until the academic procession has left the auditorium. I now invite you to stand and join Emmanuel in singing our national anthem.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, car to brasse porte le paix, il se porte la croix, ton histoire est une épopée, des plus brillants exploits.